I think Julia was like, you can use Pygame inside of Rampy, and I was like, oh cool, then I'm gonna do that.
So the artists told the
Yes,
programmer.
yes.
Yeah, that's really funny.
About 20 minutes, I would say.
Yeah.
And if you don't have skill issue on the minigames,
Yeah.
then it's gonna be, I don't know, I would say be nice to people. It always comes back. It really does, it really does.
It's the first time we actually had this advice. Hi gamers and developers, and welcome to another GDT vlog. On today's vlog we're going to talk about Queer Vampire Game Jam again, and this is a vlog about Team 2. So we have one of the team members right here, and I will let them present themselves in a bit. But first about the jam, so if you haven't seen the other vlog about the Queer Vampire Game Jam, this was a 1 month jam, and essentially all you had to do was to make a game that was both queer inspired and vampire inspired. So very simple. Here we have one of the team members, like I said. So do you want to present yourself?
Sure. My name is Madalena Mota. I was one of the programmers for the game. And I'm studying computer science now at Técnico also, but at the other campus in Alameda.
Yeah. The other team members were Martin Tunj, also on the programming side, and then on the art side we had Julia Pinheiro and Sam Costa, and finally on the writing it was the duty of Julia Pinheiro. So yeah, this is essentially a visual novel, but I will let Madeleine introduce their game. So what's the name of your game and what is it about?
Okay, our game is named Faith or Freedom, and it's basically about a young nun that moves to another city to go to a new convent, and there she meets a bunch of people, and she basically meets this really mysterious widow that there are rumors all around town about her, and they kind of fall in love and they have this really nice story. And it's basically mostly about how they relate to each other and what it's like to be a woman and what it's like to explore that other side of sexuality together, and also how the people in the city don't want them to be together because they just don't like the widow because of her story. And it's basically about exploring that those things together.
And I think this game is very charming. You'll see it in a bit, both on the story side and on the visual side. But yeah, so how did you actually come up with this idea?
I think we were all talking and we wanted to make something that was light but deep at the same time. So we wanted to explore kind of the position of women in society and how religion and sexuality can relate. And it's not necessarily against religion, it's just like a more objective view on that. And we were talking and it just came up about a nun, and then we were talking about characters, and we were talking about what each character could represent and maybe how to build a story with all of those, and it was really fun.
Yeah, and I think you will be able to see it in the game. So yeah, I love this. You didn't mention about the religious aspect of the game, right? Because the main character is a nun. Mm-hmm. So yeah, does that come into play into the story?
Yes, so there are kind of, do you want me to explain the characters?
Yeah, sure.
So basically the nun has a friend, which is basically the voice of reason. So mm-hmm. they're kind of the same age, they're kind of going through the same things, and so both of those characters are kind of the contrast between the voice of reason and basically doing what you want and giving yourself to basically your desires. And then there are two authoritarian figures, which are the abbess and the mayor. Mm-hmm. So the abbess is kind of the disciplinarian one. It's like they basically keep the main character from doing what she wants and from pursuing what she wants. And the mayor is also a kind of an authoritarian figure. It kind of represents the oppression and all of that. And basically the relationship between them represents kind of exploring the unknown and the mysteriousness of meeting someone like that, and that's basically it. Yeah.
I think that's lovely. I love this story, and I love this theme that you created for the game, because like we mentioned, the jam itself didn't have overarching theme, only queer and vampires, so we ended up with different results, and I think this one is really cute. So yeah, now we'll see a bit of the gameplay, so you can start the game. Okay. And as always, because this is a visual novel, we will let you read for the first 10-15 seconds, and then we'll continue talking about the game, so you can just experience the first impression. first thing, I know you didn't do the art, but this looks amazing. This is just one of the most charming games I've ever seen. It looks so good. I just love it. What were the programming aspects of it? Because I know you were the programmer.
Yeah, we did it in RenPy, and so most of the process was just basically copying lines, which was really fun. But then there are mini games as well, and that's like the really fun part. And we kind of divided it between the both of us, and yeah, that was basically it. And for the mini games, we used Pygame. You can like kind of do Pygame inside of RenPy, and yeah, it was really fun. I don't know what else to say.
I didn't know about that because the other team, they also did mini games, but they chose to use Unity because they thought, or at least they couldn't make mini games inside RenPy. I didn't know you could do mini games. Mm-hmm. So how did you find out about that?
I actually hadn't used RenPy before as well, but I had used Pygame, and I think Julia was like, "You can use Pygame inside of RenPy," and I was like, "Oh, cool! Then I'm gonna do that."
Okay, so the artists told the programmer. Yes. Yeah, that's really funny. Like you said, most of the job was just copying lines. I'm guessing that because this is a visual novel, you had to like fix a lot of grammar issues and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. So
I mean, Julia did a good job at
Okay, yeah. So I don't know if you wanna tell us about the plan that you guys sketched for like 1 month, because 1 month is like a lot. Mm-hmm. So what was your plan?
Yes, we actually had a setback right at the beginning because we didn't have time to meet in the beginning, so we couldn't choose the theme of the story basically. Yeah. So we only really started working about like a week and a half in, and that was when we started seeing what the story was going to be, and we only started programming really 2 weeks before I think the deadline. Yeah. And we also had to choose the mini games and talk about like what was that going to be for the player and what kind of mini games we would have. And so it was really, the programming things were done really to the end, but then it was postponed, like the deadline was postponed a week. And so that was really nice because we didn't have time to add the finishing touches, like the sound effects, all of those things that are really important in the menu and all those things. Yeah. And so it was really nice to be postponed basically, but yeah, that was it.
I actually like that you said that the important things were like the sound and the menu. I love this because we were talking just before that typically us, like in the last year and something like that, it was very rare to find a game that had menus and music and stuff like that, because we all just leave it until the end and then we don't have time for it. So I'm glad that you say that it's important, because it is important. Don't skip the sound and stuff like that, please.
Yes, so yeah, it really adds to the ambient of the game.
Exactly. Mainly because this is also a visual novel, so I think it's really important in this aspect. Do you know, or can you tell me if the game has multiple endings or if it's just one ending?
Yes, it has 2 endings, one bad and one good, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Wow. So yeah, I know this is like a short experience. Can you tell me how long will it take to play the game?
If you do it from top to bottom or from a beginning to end, about 20 minutes, I would say. Yeah. And if you don't have skill issue on the mini games, it's gonna be, no, but they're really easy. They're really easy mini games. It was just to add a little bit of more interactivity.
Yeah. So you can play this game 2 times. So you can actually experience the game for 40 minutes.
Yeah. Exactly.
So well, now I'm gonna ask you about the jam itself. So this was your first time also participating in a jam?
Yes.
Yeah. So can you tell me the experience of participating for the first time and also on the Queer Vampire Game Jam?
Yes, I was really lucky to get a really good team, and especially the team leader was really nice because she could kind of dynamize everything really nicely, and so it was nice to work with those kinds of people. And it was also a really good learning experience. Like I said, I had never learned RenPy before and I had never used it. And so it was really nice to kind of work with a new engine. For the Queer Vampire Game Jam, I think it was a really good theme because I really love all this inclusivity thing. Yeah. And so I really love to talk about this stuff. And I also really love to make people feel included and all of that. And also, there aren't many representations of queer people, and especially queer vampire whatever.
Yeah.
And so it was really nice to be able to talk about that.
I agree with you on that front. So would you recommend this gem to other people?
Absolutely. I think it's really fun and it's really good learning experience.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with you. So my last question is, do you have any advice to the people back at home?
I don't know, I would say be nice to people. It always comes back. It really does, it really does.
It's the first time we actually had this advice.
Yeah, it really
advice.
comes back. If you're nice to people, they're gonna be nice to you.
Yeah, and I agree with you. So yeah.
Really random, but
Charming team, charming game, nothing could go wrong. So yeah.
Thank you.
And that's all for today. So thank you for coming. And thank you guys for watching back at home, and keep watching our videos, go watch our other vlogs, follow us on social media and everything, and go play this game. Come on, it looks awesome, it is awesome, just do it. So yeah, we'll see you next time. Keep gaming and keep deving. Bye.